This comes like magic sometimes. And alrighty, at least you can see my face somewhat. All right, we're on to chapter 3, and today when we're reading into the book, it's all talking about how to go from nothing to something. That's all we've been sharing and trying to relate that to our lives, right? And pretty much it's a story, our story, right? Pretty much our story, and how, all right, pretty much talking about us from nothing to something. That's all we're trying to get together, trying to relate that to our life, how we can become something. We can go from wherever we are to wherever we need to be, walking in our dream. That's what it is. And so we're in chapter 3, like I said, and the title of chapter 3 is talking about believe in the power of embracing your truth. Last week we talked about the fact that whatever your past doesn't determine your future. Today we're going to talk about believing in the power, embracing your truth, embracing who you are, all that you are, and not running away from anything. It's pretty much going to attack the devil, the demons in our life, and face them, face on, right? Not giving place to any of them. And pretty much is the key quote from that chapter talks about making peace with your broken pieces, right? We all have broken pieces due to our experience of life, where things that we know about, don't know about, but we have broken pieces. And what we typically do is take the broken pieces and believe that it can become a masterpiece. And before we can believe that it's a masterpiece, first we have to be at peace with them, to allow God to use our broken pieces to become our masterpiece, right? And pretty much we've emphasized this in the last 2 meetings, talking about our purpose. We're talking about the whole idea of the study becoming something, is becoming all that God has made us to be, become the highest, truest version of ourselves or expression of ourselves that brings forth glory, that brings up happiness, fulfillment in our life, being purpose driven and achieving purpose in life. And as we do that, we're able to get the reward therein also. And pretty much just saying that we should show up, because not everybody shows up, right? Not everybody shows up to life. A lot of people are being beaten by life, and maybe they've made mistakes several times and they're not waking up back, right? The Japanese proverb we typically quote is fall 7, rise up 8. That is, even if you fall, you must always rise more than you fall. Keyword. You must always rise more than you fall, right? So it's to show up in life, right? And for you to show up in life, you have to be at peace with all the details of your life, you know. And one example that comes to mind for me is, you know, when Obama, President Obama was going to compete for the presidency. He had not even won yet. He made peace with all the truth to his life. So that's one of the power, the strength that propelled him onto presidency. He didn't dissociate from the lineage of his father. He associated with his truth. His truth was that he was born by a Kenyan father and an American mother, right? And he did not run away from that truth. And that's one of the core strengths to his presidency. Same thing for us, you know, for you to let the greatness in you come to forth, to work for you. You must be at peace with every sector of your life. Was any sector of your life that you're not at peace with becomes a demon that will get you when you least expect it, right? So life is about being at peace with every area of our life. That's the only way you can truly allow your greatness can shine forth and work for you. In order places I've been ministering in recent times, you know, and I take that also from a Bible, from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 17. The Bible talks about truth being a belt, a girdle for us, right? It's talking about owning yourself. You have to own yourself. You have to own your soul. You have to own your spirit. You have to own every part of your life. Because if you don't own your life cannot work greatness. Your life will not amount to much. The part that you don't own will always be that chain that holds you back. It will be that chain that keeps you from flying to your utmost height as the eagle. It will be that chain that's keeping you on the ground like a chicken, right? Success in life, greatness in life it requires that you own yourself. You own yourself. You own your spirit. You own your soul. You own your body, right? And that's that popular quote we say in Victor's Court. We say that you are the captain of your soul. Captain of your soul means you own your soul. You are the one directing your soul. Your soul is not directing you. Your soul is not the one leading you. You are the one leading your soul. You have to be the captain of your soul for you to be the master of your fate and your destiny. Because if you are not the captain of your soul, you cannot be the master of your fate and destiny, right? They work hand in hand, right? So if you're going to win in life, you're going to work greatness in your life. Your dreams are going to come to pass, come true. You have to be one that owns every area of your life, which is what we're also talking about here, including every truth of your life, irrespective of whether you are responsible, irresponsible. Everything that happened in your life, you have to take ownership of it because it affects the details of your life. It affects you today and it affects you tomorrow, right? So it's not a matter of running away from demons in your past. It's a matter of staying, looking them in the face and overcoming them, right? Because what you run from persists and becomes bigger. What you address becomes smaller and fizzles out, right? So this is by Jocko. Jocko Willink is a former Navy SEAL, right? And he uses all this training as a Navy SEAL, is being able to bring it into the business world and personal lives also, where we could use that in everyday life to win, right? And he's here talking about that. He's not just talking about ownership, and we'll quickly look at 4 aspects of ownership, you know, that he brings to bear. He says, in the practice of owning everything in your world, right, to an extreme degree, it means that you are responsible not just for the task that you are directly controlled, but for all the other things that affect it, right? And his concept is put together in this diagram here, where you're talking about things that affect your life, the things you do, and the feelings that go with it, right? And in level 1 of being responsible, which all of us are used to, is a fact where you take responsibility for your actions, right? And there is a higher place. So we're talking about emotional intelligence, right? It's more like in level 2 here, where you're not just taking responsibility for your actions, but you're also taking responsibilities for your emotions as well, right? And that's on an individual level. Then you go to level 3, where you begin to also not just take responsibility for your actions, your emotions, but you're also concerned about the emotions of the other person that you are relating with. And level 4 is where you take responsibility for not just your action, your emotions, the emotions of the person you're relating with, but for the actions of the people you are relating with also. Because the key thing is that failure is not an option at the end of the day. You want to make it, you want to win. Therefore, you have to be responsible for every single thing that affects your end result. And here, just talking about also from a psychological standpoint, 4 dimensions that pretty much affect the way we relate to life, the way we will take on life, right? And number 1 is the locus of control. Locus of control just talks about the word locus is center, right? The same way is your control center. Is it internal or external? People that have an internal locus of control are people that believe that they are in charge and responsible for the details of their life. Those that have an external locus of control believe that they are not responsible, right? So winners don't go with an external locus of control. Winners take responsibility of their life. That's just the last slide that Jacko presents to us. Leaders and those that take ownership are those that have a locus of control. They take ownership of the details of their life and they're able to lead it, direct it in the way they want it to go. They are able to design their life. They're not incidental life, right? And that's the place for winners, is to have an internal locus of control, take responsibility for the details of our lives. The second thing that affects the way we relate it is what we call neuroticism, which is the quotient or how much control a person does not have over his or her emotions, right? And that goes a long way to affect, determine how we relate in every situation. You can compare those two to what the slide we just left, talking about ownership, right? If you don't have control over your emotions, then you're not able to get into level 4 here, right? You're not even able to get to level 3. You probably end up at level 1, level 2, and you're not even able to sustain it, because your emotions, will probably, you don't have a hold of your emotions. Your emotions can do affect your action, right? When your emotions are out of whack, you begin to also act out of whack, right? So that's important. And the third one there is what we call self-efficacy, which is just your belief in yourself, your ability to handle the details of your life, right? It's the ability, the belief that you can handle the details of your life. And the last one is self-esteem, which is an estimation of how much worth you give to yourself. I mean, those 4 things affect the way we respond to life, right? If those 4 things are not in the proper position, then we'll not be able to win in the issues of our life. We need to be able to we need to gain mastery in all 4 to be able to win in life and respond adequately and be able to own the details of our